Have you tried so many things, so many trades, so many businesses, so many jobs, and looks like none of them is really working for you? Like you are not really settled. You've not really arrived at what could make you really prosper and really happy doing it. And you are still jumping from pillar to pole, trying new things or thinking about new things you want to do. I tell you, stand still and know what God is saying to you today. Let me tell you a story. In Luke 10:38, as Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, they came to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he taught. But Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, "Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me." But the Lord said to her, "My dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There's only one thing worth concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her." What does this story tell us? That a lot of us are distracted by so many things, by what other people are doing, what our friends are doing, what's going on, by the stories on social media, fake stories, because most of them are fake, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. All those stories, there's some good ones, no doubt about it, but most of them are fake. People have mastered using social media to present a fake life of what they want to do or what they desire, but they make people believe they are already living that life, whereas they were not. And you that is distracted by all the galleries and noises, start thinking, "Oh, I can do this too," and you start planning and working towards it. And what the Lord is saying, the most important thing you are not doing. So ask me, DBA, what's the most important thing? The most important thing is the good and great things of what God intended to do through you. Can I say that again? The most important thing is the good and great things God wants to do through you. Yes, you. Everyone, every man and woman, God wants to do something through you, and they are good and great things. He said, "Call upon me, and I will show you the great and mighty things that you have never seen before." You have never seen these things before, and yet they are great and mighty things that God wants to do through you. And he said, "Call upon me and I will show you." So God is ready to show you. All you need to do is to stand still and meditate. Think about the good and great things God wants to do through you, and it will show you. I have a formula for success that I know and I've tested in my life. That's true. Thoughts and imagination of good and great things of what God intended to do through you. So, thoughts and imagination of what God, of the good and great things God intended to do through you. Then plus the unity, plus one language, plus carefully crafted words equals great success. So thoughts and imagination. So when God show you these things that He intended to do through you, then you need to concentrate on the thoughts and imagination of the possibilities, and God begin to flush your mind with ideas, with strategies, with plans, with ways He's going to do these things through you. But as you think and imagine all those great things, you need to be united with yourself first, because you are a tripartite self. You are a tripartite self. So you need to be united with yourself. Why do I say you need to be united with yourself? Because you are spirit, soul, and body. They need to come together. Your spirit receives from God, but your soul has to be united with your spirit. Your soul is your mind. If your mind is not developed to receive those great and mighty things, it is not going to be united with your spirit. And without that unity, nothing works. So how does your soul, which is your mind, unite with your spirit? By developing it. One of the foremost things that develop your soul, your mind, I say the soul is your mind and your emotions, right? So as you develop your mind, you want to develop the strong will to control your emotion. Okay? So the will, the mind, and the emotions make the soul. So how do you develop it? One of the foremost things to develop your mind is, what do you listen to? Martha was distracted instead of listening. You see, the Lord came to their house. Instead of listening to God, you can imagine God came to your house. Instead of sitting down and listening to God, that what is the great and mighty things you want to do through me, you are all over the place. So listen. So what do you consume on daily basis? You have to make up your mind first that you will consume positive things. So can you imagine a multi-billionaire came to visit you, and you desire to be a billionaire or be a millionaire? At least you desire to be wealthy. Instead of you sitting down at his feet, asking him questions and listening to what he had to say, you were all over the place preparing food for him. Can you imagine? And he came to spend just 30 minutes with you. You were all over preparing food, trying to entertain him. Which one is the most important thing? You have only 30 minutes with this wealthy guy that has wealth of experience that he could share with you within 30 minutes, and yet you are all over the place, distracted on your phone, checking mails, checking your social media posts and your friends' pictures and all that. Distracted, and yet you have somebody there that could change your life if only you can sit down, be still, and listen to him. So can you imagine that scenario? So what do you consume? We have an option every day, every minute of the day, every second of the day that we wake up. We have an option to consume positive materials that will take us to where we intend to go, or the great things that God has shown us, or to consume things that will take us away from it. What are the things that will take you towards it? You have a choice. When you switch on your YouTube or you check your Instagram, there are materials there, positive materials that will take you to where you intend to go. What I know is most successful people, they know inside them that they are not successful until they can pass the things that they have learned in their journey to other people. I mean, it's just there, you know. There's something inside them that will say, hey, I'm not successful until I can teach other people what I learned. Because most people want, one of the desires of people is that they should hear them. Hear me out. Hear me out, Lord. Hear me out, people. They want you to hear them out. So they are also on Instagram, they are also on YouTube, trying to tell you what they have learned. But instead we are distracted. We are distracted by the false teaching, by the gallery, by all the fake things on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, instead of listening to the thing that will help us to go forward. And that's how you develop your mind. When you listen to positive things that will empower your soul, you develop your mind. You develop your mind. So your soul now becomes united with your spirit. That's how your soul gets united with your spirit. And once your soul, once your mind is united with your spirit, then it communicates with the body and takes the body along. So, the body has the 5 senses, right? One of the 5 senses is what you hear, what you see. So on the video you are watching, okay, your body is already getting united, because what you see, the video you see, and what you hear, you are hearing it, you are watching it, right? You can even smell it. You can even smell fortune as you are watching those videos. You can feel it in your skin that you can do it. You can feel it in your body that you can do it. That's unity. That's unity. So your tripartite self has to be united. Then they have to speak one language. Speak one language. Speak the language towards your vision. Only the language towards your vision. They have to speak only that language. Anything that's not related to your vision, call it out. Let them speak with one language. Your spirit speak with one language. Your soul speak with one language. Your body speak with the same language. And carefully crafted words. Words are powerful. Words are powerful. As your spirit, body and soul speak with one language, you have to speak out that language. Speak out the language. Because many times, soul is telling us something, our mind is telling us something, but we are seeing a different thing. And before we know it, we are speaking the language of what we are seeing, instead of the language our spirit, body, and soul is telling us. You know the story of Ezekiel with the dry bones. Ezekiel saw the dry bones and they were very dry, but the Lord was speaking to him. So his spirit was united with God, and God was asking him, what did you see? Yeah, I saw dry bones, no doubt. And he said, can the dry bones live? He said the bones were very dry. They've been dried over many years, skeleton. And they're asking you, with the dry bones, supposing you have that experience like Ezekiel, you are seeing things that are upside down. You are seeing poverty all around you, and the Lord is asking you, and God is asking you, can you be wealthy and change this situation? What will you say? Will you say it's impossible, or will you say it is possible? I had this experience with some people recently, and I was showing them the strategy of success. And I was telling them to raise their goal, to raise their goal. Can you imagine someone, I'm asking, how much money do you need to live a comfortable life, to live a good life? And the person is telling me, I'm just paraphrasing the story, and the person is telling me, oh, I just need $100 a day. I say, $100 a day? Is that all that you need? Yeah, I just need $100 a day. I'll be okay. I buy my grocery, I pay my bills. I don't need much. I just need one room. If I can pay for that one room and I can eat, and then I'm okay. You are okay. There are great and mighty things God wants to do through you, and you are saying you are okay with just having $100 and living in one room and paying and buying groceries and eating and sleeping and watching YouTube and watching movies, watching TV, and you said you are okay. Get a life. There are great and mighty things God wants to do through you, and for God to use you He needs to put wealth in your hands. Great wealth in your hands in order to use you. And you are saying you don't need anything, you just need $100. Because all you are concerned about is what you want to eat, what you want to drink, the movies you want to watch, and sit down and waste away your life. If you realize the great and mighty things God wants to do to you, you will know that you need money to execute them. And God wants to put wealth into your hands to be able to do those great and mighty things. So carefully crafted words. Can the dry bone live? I like what Ezekiel said. It looked impossible to him, right? But he said, Lord, you know. Because you never say that word impossible out. Even your mind might be telling you it's impossible, but don't ever say it out. Once you say it out, your world have united with impossibility. If you say yes, it is possible, then your mind has united with your words. There's unity of a transparent self, unity of united with one language, and united with carefully crafted words of thoughts and imagination of good and great things God intended to do through you equals great success. That's the formula. That's the formula. We can begin to break every other thing down into details, but that's the formula. Just check out. I've studied biographies of many. I think I have to put a number to it one of these days. There's hardly any prominent successful person that have not studied their biography, and I found this to be true in all of them. And I've studied my own life too, the mistakes I've made, and when I begin to use this formula, the difference that has brought to my life. So I'm telling you this, know this today, that there are great and mighty things God wants to do through you, because you are unique. God has created you for a unique purpose, and He wants to do great and mighty things through you. You have to sit still and hear, because God's going to tell you. He must tell you, because he wanted to do something through you. He must tell you, but because you are distracted, you are not listening, you are not hearing. But when you listen and you hear, and you can comprehend this, then begin to think thoughts of imagination of great things. Begin to plan, begin to think, begin to imagine, and have your body, spirit, and soul united, speaking with one language. And make sure that the words that come from your mouth are in line with these great and mighty things God wants to do through you. Hope you are blessed today. Talk to you next time.